Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I am doing something a little bit different. I'm reviewing these neat socks that I've seen all over Instagram. They're Crayola color and socks, collab with Crayola and Living Royal, which is apparently a sock company. And I'm just going to want to start this by saying this is not sponsored. I bought this with my money. And yeah, I mean, I was just browsing Instagram as I do, and I saw the ad for these and I'm like, wow, that's a really cute, fun idea that kids might love, you know? You can wear, you know, the stuff you color in. That's pretty neat. So I decided to buy some. I bought a pair for myself and a pair for a friend because we had a Secret Santa thing going on. And I gave her the junk food version and I got myself the cute little monster version. And on the back here, it has other designs, including the junk food ones I mentioned. There's like a sea life one, dinosaurs, and chameleons. And of course they have tons of other designs on their website. I remember seeing like at least 10 different designs. And yeah, so anyways, basically what you do is you color these socks in with these Crayola fabric markers. And on the back here it has instructions for how to make sure that the design is permanent, and how to wash it and stuff. Sort of similar to how you'd like, you know, wash stuff after you tie-dye something. But obviously, a bit different instructions, so you'll want to read the back very carefully. You can do it either by putting it in a dryer and letting it set that way, or ironing it with the socks. Ironing the socks. Can't talk. And yeah. So I think the dryer would probably be easiest. I'd, you know, want my mom to do the ironing if I decided to do it the ironing way, because I feel like I'd screw that up fairly easily. You can shrink it if you don't iron it carefully enough. So yeah, make sure you don't put it in the dryer with any other items, all that stuff. Basically just follow the instructions and it should be fine. I'll be telling you how that goes as well. And yeah, I haven't opened these up yet, so I'm just going to do that right now. Okay, so there are tabs on the side. I'm assuming this is how you get it open. But I brought scissors just in case. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna try to pull these out. Forgot to mention these are unisex socks, one size fits all, almost. Children's shoe size 9 through a women's shoe size 11. I am a size 7, I believe, women's, so they should be able to fit me. If they don't, then obviously that's a major problem. Opening up the marker section in here. And these are the different markers you get. I'm just gonna toss the box out of the way. You get, that's in French, you get a red Crayola fabric marker, you get orange, you get lime, and you get blue. That's what Crayola calls these colors. And here are the socks. So on the back, or the bottom of the foot I guess, there is no pattern. It just says Living Royal. And on the front is the actual colorable design. Now what you do to actually color these in is there's a perforated line right here, as you can probably see. What you do is you tear that off and then you can start coloring on top of the socks. And you'll want to keep this cardboard inside of it, that way it doesn't bleed to the bottom of your sock. And obviously you'll want to cover your surface very thoroughly. Like, I'm going to cover mine with a garbage bag. Even if you're older and you think like, oh, I won't get it on my surface, just do it anyways. Like, either cover your surface if you're working indoors, because these markers will stain things, or go outside and do it outside somewhere that you don't care about staining. But I'm just going to do it indoors because I don't want to get my socks dirty. Anyways, can't believe I'm talking so much. I also got a pack of Crayola brand fabric markers. I assume these are the same exact markers, same exact kind of markers that come in the kit. If you're going to get extra fabric markers, you'd want to get the Crayola brand because, like, you don't want to deal with, like, different brands having different setting times or anything like that. And I assumed these were the exact same kind of marker, had the same setting time, all that stuff. And I just wanted more colors to work with. So let me just open this up. Get the same sort of tabs going on here. But yeah, I believe there are 10 colors in here. So I'm just going to pop these open, see if they look like they're the same kind of marker. I don't know why a Crayola would have different kinds of fabric markers. Like from what I could tell, they were just normal fabric markers by Crayola that came with this kit. Just dump these out. Yep, these appear to be the exact same kind of marker, down to package design and everything. Chucking that other box over there. Okay, so yeah, like you can see, it is the same type of design of marker and everything, so I don't think it's weird to think that they're the exact, same kind of marker. And I was wondering how many duplicates you got in here. Basically, all of these colors you have a duplicate for in the pack, so really you just get 6 added colors. Again, these are the exact same colors, from what I can tell. The names are the same and everything, so I'll just focus on the 6 new colors you can get. And I bet you're wondering, like, oh, can you get the socks without the markers? I don't believe you can. I looked on their website. They do not sell the socks without the markers, so I guess you're just gonna have to deal with extra markers. So here we got 6 new colors. Here we have lavender. We have pink. We have yellow, teal, black, and gray. From what I know, I don't think Crayola sells any other fabric marker colors. But anyways, this is all the materials I got. I think I'm just gonna set aside the extra duplicate colors that I have. So, where should I put these? Just shove them in a corner, I'll deal with them later. Anyways, now I'm gonna set up my workplace. I'm gonna start coloring the socks. I'm not gonna color the entire thing while I'm on camera, so that would obviously take a while. And just grab the garbage bag that I have conveniently set up here. And another perk about covering your surface is now it's gonna smell like citrus, because for whatever reason the bag smells like citrus. Okey-dokey. That's probably about good. Yeah, I just recommend garbage bag. Probably the best thing to cover your surface with, because, it repels things. A+ scientific explanation, Claire. Okay, which one should I start with? This dude, he looks like he wants to be green. So let's just pop out the lime and get going on this boy. Okay, so I'm just gonna start coloring him. Actually, nah, it doesn't matter right now. I'll just keep this top part attached because I'm not coloring anything near the top yet, so. Okay, so what I'm finding is the easiest way to get at him is to just kind of like do tiny little strokes and like dots. Make sure that color gets really set in there. And of course, make sure that you don't go over the lines because there's no way to erase on these things. Every mark you make is permanent. No pressure. I already went over the lines a little bit because I'm a ding-dong. Okay. So I think it bleeds a tiny bit if you go too much near the edge. So I'd sort of stay in the lines a little bit extra, maybe not color all the way to the edge. Okay. I'll probably just color this one alien dude. And I don't want to make this video too super long. If you go slowly. It's probably the best way to do it. That way you don't make any mistakes that you regret. And yeah, it's like bleeding a teeny tiny little bit. I mean, if you're super, you know, like a mega perfectionist, again, kind of stay away from coloring all the way to the edge. Just let it bleed over there by itself. Okay, I'm almost done with this dude. I don't think I'll color his teeth, because, I mean, most animals' teeth are white. And I know these are monsters, but I want it to at least look a little logical. Okay. So there we go. There's our boy. Just gonna go over a few points where I think it's a little lighter than the rest of his body. And the nice thing about this is that you notice there are like a few fibers that are kind of like poking up, but really like not nearly enough to actually bother you and hinder, you know, your drawing. Like not enough to get on your marker and you have to like remove every second or something. So yeah, I'd say coloring it was pretty easy, honestly. I'm very accident prone, so that's nice that it even worked for me. Now I might color his little feet. You notice he has some tiny little toes. And I don't know, maybe a nice teal would look good on him. So let's just use the teal on the toes. Again, I'm making sure that I use both sets of markers, the ones from the kit itself and the ones from the separate Crayola package I got. Anyway, I'm just gonna go color in his little toes. And yeah, for the tiny little things that you have to color in, it's inevitably gonna bleed a tiny bit because they're just so small. You can't really go light around the edges because they're so small. Like a tiny little dot is enough to fill them in. But again, these little like the bleeding that I'm complaining of, it might wash out. I'll just have to tell you guys about that. I mean, again, it's like barely anything. Like, people are gonna be looking at your socks, they won't even notice it. But again, if you're a mega perfectionist like I am, be careful. Okay, so there's that. I don't really know what else to say about the coloring. It works pretty well, these are nice. These socks are 100% polyester, which I believe helps with the whole setting process and all of that. And I guess I'll tear off the socks from the perforated edge, which should totally make it easier to color. So yeah, I guess I'll come back after I've colored these totally to show you how they look, and then I will talk to you about how I'm gonna set them and try that out, and then come back and show you the finished product, maybe model them a little bit, and give my overall review on this kit. Okay, so I'm back. I apologize, the sun has gone down, and I've just finished my socks. I think they turned out pretty well, and I'll give you a few more tips and tricks for how to color them, because I just kept learning, you know, more how to go about it as I went along. Oh gosh, that's very bright. Since it's kind of dark, figured I'd use my phone's flashlight to help out a little bit. Anyways, you can kind of tell which sock I colored first. This one has a little more bleeding, if you can see there. That's the one I colored first. This is the one I colored second. And you'll notice that they kind of connect, like you can see his tail attaches to its body. So make sure that you get around the edges, especially on the bottom near the toes, because there is a little bit of stuff for you to color on there. So make sure you just don't forget about that. And then, again, about coloring, you can kind of notice with this first sock that I made, that I like made a point of trying to saturate it more. Like you can see my little green guy is a little darker on the left. And I don't think it said anything about needing to saturate it super much. It said to actually go kind of lightly when you colored. And generally when you do that, you end up having it look a lot cleaner. And it bleeds more when you try to saturate it a lot. And yeah, I found that for the little extremities, again you can see here, his toes look a little more clean than before. That's just because I tried to dab really, really, really lightly in the thin spots especially. And then up here, around the hem top part of the sock, just in general, it's more likely to bleed. So make sure you go easy near the top there. Just because it's like thicker, I believe, and like a heavier stitch. I feel like it's bound to bleed at least a little bit. And of course down like here where the seam line is for the toe of the sock, kind of like distorts it a tiny bit, but not super noticeably. And yeah, just go very, very lightly, especially with dark colors. And the blue, for whatever reason, I found bled a little more than I expected. And for the background here, I used gray for the squigglies and black for these little zigzag pieces. Can't really tell that they're different. I mean, you can a little bit, but not like at first glance. So I just wanted to try out all the colors. I tried out every single color on these socks to see, you know, how they'd turn out after wash. For some reason, I'm having trouble breathing. I keep talking too much. And here I've just written down the name of each one on paper so I can compare how they look here to how they turn out when I pop them out of the washer and the dryer and all that stuff. And when I wrote them down, they're a little bit lighter than on the socks because obviously it's more saturated. But yeah, I think I'm going to go pop these in the dryer. I decided to use the dryer method to set them instead of ironing because ironing is more accident prone because it's like if you iron it too long then they might shrink and I don't want that. So yeah, for heat setting it says before wearing, ask an adult to place socks in a dryer for 30 minutes on the hottest setting. Do not place in dryer with other items. So that is exactly what I'm going to go do. I'll tell you guys how that goes. And yeah, I think it says to wash again, like by themselves in the washing machine before you actually wear them. That way, you know, if they bleed a little bit, you know, it's in the washing machine and not with other clothes. Let me just read over this real quickly. It says the color may bleed during the first wash. To prevent bleeding during the wash cycle, wash the garment separately for the first 3 washings in warm water. So yeah, just be extra careful, make sure they don't stain your other clothes, that would stink. And one last thing I forgot to mention while I colored, I put on some old clothes, an old t-shirt, old shorts. And yeah, just don't color these in your best clothes, because again, you know, you're prone to accidentally stain them if someone bumps your arm or if unforeseen circumstances happen. So yeah, I'm going to go whip these in the dryer, and I'll tell you guys how they turn out. Okay, so I'm back. I've thrown these in the dryer to set them. Colors didn't fade at all. I didn't really expect them to because they were just in the dryer. And yeah, they turned out pretty well. I feel like the parts where they bled are a little less obvious, but I don't know if that's just me. But anyways, I will try these on for you. So, alright, so here's how they turned out, how they look on. And yeah, basically the pattern covers all of the top part of the foot. And these fit me perfectly. My shoe size, again, is around a women's 7, American. And yeah, I think they shrank a tiny bit while they were in the dryer, so maybe if your feet are like, I think they said the highest is like size 11 shoe. So I think if you have a foot size like that big, they might not be able to fit you after they come right out of the dryer, but for me, they're perfect. Anyways, I think I'll wear these all day today and throw them in the washer and tell you guys how that goes and if they fade or not. Alright, so I'm back. I have washed these socks for the first time and there's no fading from what I can tell. And they seem to have pilled a little bit. And so you see little bits of white. But yeah, I have the written down colors. And yeah, they appear to be about the same. They didn't fade. And they didn't bleed to the other side or anything, from what I can tell. And I did wash them separately like the instructions said, but I didn't notice them like Like, it didn't seem like they were bleeding a ton or that they'd stain your clothes, so I feel like after the first washing of them, it's probably okay to wash them with other clothes. But, you know, I'd always go the safe route. I wash them by hand. But yeah, I think this is definitely a great gift. I know it's after Christmas, but, you know, you can look ahead for getting these for someone for, like, you know, maybe just a surprise gift or their birthday or next year for Christmas. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed coloring them. It was really fun. Good, really good quality product. They'll last a long time, and it wasn't super difficult to color them in. Like, as long as, you know, you color with care, they'll look like any sort of socks that you could buy colored in. But anyways, overall I'd rate this about like 9 out of 10. And yeah, I'll put links in the description like I've said. And I hope you guys enjoyed this product review. And I'll see you next time. Bye.